Welcome back to the TND podcast. I'm your host Tishan.
And I'm Darwish, and now we're on Zoom.
That's right, Zoom. Woo! Back to the online class vibe. That's right. So
Reminds
for
me of
today's
COVID, huh?
podcast,
Tishan?
right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So for today's podcast, we are going to be discussing how AI affects schools. Now, we chose this topic because we want to get a idea, a point of view from how AI is being used in schools and stuff like that. Because me and Darwish, we are college students, so we use AI in a very different way. We are allowed to
Mm.
use AI in our classrooms and stuff like that. We are allowed to use AI for our assignments, but kids in school, they are not allowed to use AI. I'm pretty sure for their homework. And so yeah, and later we have a special guest, international teacher from Terengganu, and she's also my auntie. So yeah, big thanks to that. We'll be bringing her into the Zoom call later. And yeah, this is all. We just want to get a viewpoint of how, because we are in college, we just want to see how different uh AI works in schools compared to college.
Mm.
So yeah, and I have a question for you, Darwish. Uh,
Yeah, what's up?
if you when you were in school, right, when you were doing SPM, UPSR, if we
Mm.
had ChatGPT back then, if you had AI in the palm of your hands, how would you use AI to help you? Or would I say, how would you abuse AI to help you in school?
Okay, so um, to be honest, I would have used it primarily on maths. That was my worst subject, to either learn or like to study and stuff. But knowing how I am now in college, I feel like you know what I mean? Like I feel like the mentality still wouldn't change even if we had ChatGPT in my SPM or UPSR. Like right now, AI or like ChatGPT, I've been using it for my college assignments. I've been using it for like daily things. It's not just for school. It's like a daily necessity now. Yeah, I guess that's just like my point of view on it. Even
Right.
though a lot of how to say, there's a lot of fabrication. I'm just gonna say that word. Yeah. There's a lot of fabrications when it comes to AI generated answers. So if you get what I'm going with this, you understand.
All
Yeah,
right.
but that's
So
it.
yeah, me personally, what I would do, and I imagine what a lot of kids who are like in the age from they're in standard 1 to form 5,
Mm.
I imagine what they are doing. I mean, you can imagine how easy it would be to get away with it. I mean, I'm sure teachers would notice the difference in vocabulary and stuff like that. So the way I would use it, and I imagine how kids today are using it in school, is they get they get the homework assigned to them in school, and of course in school, you're not allowed to use your phone in classrooms and stuff like that. So you don't have
You're not even
AI.
allowed to bring your phones, bro.
Exactly. So AI is not always there with you. So, but when you go home, AI is with you all the time for these kids. So I assume when a kid gets an assignment in class, get homework in class, and they come back home, all they have to do is take a picture of the assignment
Mm.
or of the homework, put it in ChatGPT, and be like, "Oh, ChatGPT, give me the answers." Like,
Just
let's say
finish
you
it.
have English class, right? And they give you an assignment. Your lecturer gives your teacher. Well, see, I'm mixing up lectures in school and stuff like that. Let's say a teacher, all right, your English teacher
Ah.
gives you uh an essay homework, all right, to write. Yeah, you have to
Mm.
write a 200-word essay. That's it. So you go back home. Literally, all you have to do is type in ChatGPT, write me a 200-word essay for my English assignment, and
Mm.
all you have to do is take a book and copy it down. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah.
Copy it down. And if the kid's smarter, he can write stuff like, oh, write like you're a standard 2 student, write like you're a standard 5 student,
Mm.
stuff like that. So this is how I would probably use it. For not just English, I would use it for honestly every subject, biology, stuff like that. I would, it's just like wow.
It's
I
a
mean,
practical tool. It's a practical
yeah,
tool,
it's a
right?
very practical tool. I mean, it would for sure make kids nowadays rely on AI a lot. And I can
Mm.
imagine it would be tricky for a primary school teacher or a government school teacher to pick up on these kinds of AI fabricated stuff, uh, this AI assisted homework and stuff like that. And I can imagine students will be handing in their homework, getting good grades and stuff like that. But when it comes to the actual exam,
Yeah.
that's when you can lie as much as you want, but eventually the truth will come out. So,
That's true.
there's no balance. So this is why we want to interview us an international school teacher, so we can get her point of view on how it's being handled today in school compared to colleges. Because me and Darwish, we know how we use AI in colleges and stuff like that. We rely on it a lot. So
No,
yeah, AI
here's
would
the
be
thing.
really
It's not
helpful.
just the students. It's not just the students that know how, like college students that know how to use ChatGPT or like AI. Lecturers nowadays are so like, I would say they are so professional in this type of situations where they actually know where kids are just taking stuff from ChatGPT or AI. It's nothing
Exactly.
original, It's always things that have always been said. It's always the same words. You understand? Mm.
Yeah, and if a
So
lecturer
it is
were
a
to,
scary thing.
yeah, if a teacher were to do stuff like, oh, take picture of the student's homework and put it in Turnitin and stuff like that, that's a lot of work, compared to if you're a
Mm-hmm.
lecturer, the student sends you the file, all you have to do is, scan the
PDF,
file and
right?
that's it. You can immediately
Yeah.
find out if it's AI. Whereas teachers, they're still teachers in school, they're still marking on paper and stuff like that. So yeah. All right, we can move on to the next segment of the podcast. We're going to be inviting our guests. All right. Here's our guest for today, for our interview today. Our topic is how AI affects education in schools, and I invited my auntie Miss Shushi from head of E-Class International School in Terengganu. And yeah, we're going to be asking her some questions about how AI affects schools and education and stuff like that. Me and Darwish use AI a lot in college and stuff like that, like other AI, like not just ChatGPT. But we never really got to use AI in schools, like when Darwish was doing SPM, stuff like that, and I was taking my GCSE. So we never got to abuse it the way we do now in college. And we really know how our lecturers feel about it. They encourage us to use AI a lot to help us for our assignments, but don't go overboard with it. Don't overly depend on it, and of course, don't turn in assignments that are just fully ChatGPT and stuff like that. We have to use it to help us as like a buddy, like a teammate. And yeah, we want to know when we were kids, when a few years younger, if we had ChatGPT, how would we use it to help us in schools, not in college, when we were in school?
My education. Okay.
Yes.
Personally, if I would gotten, I mean, if I got ChatGPT or any AI, I think life would be a bit more smoother, because back then we do have a big number of students in the class, so it's very difficult for the teacher to actually attend to to each one of us, especially in terms of explaining. Because in class we do have like intermediate student, excellent student, slow student. So we do have the set of range in the class. So it's very difficult for the teachers to actually attend to each and one's needs. So the best is when we have, let's say we do have ChatGPT or any other kind of AI, I think that will actually help the students to understand the topic or perhaps engage better. So if I got ChatGPT back then, I think my English would be way, way better. Definitely.
So here's also a few other background information. Miss Sushi also is currently not only a teacher at E-Class International School, she's also she's studying her master's. She's pursuing her master's at University Pendidikan Sultan Idris. What are you studying, Miss Sushi?
Oh, I'm doing my TESOL now, teaching English for second.
Okay. Darwish, do you have any questions?
Okay, with how the world is progressing with AI and ChatGPT and so on, are you worried that kids will go and use it like a negative effect or like with positive effects?
Okay, you mean to ask, I mean, your question is like how AI has to change students' behavior, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like how they
Okay.
could change student behavior.
Okay. Actually, in my opinion, AI has made students more dependent now, more dependent on technology for, especially for learning purpose. So many now turn to AI tools for quick answers, for doing their homework, especially when it comes to writing, essay writing. And instead of thinking them critically on their own, they tend to rely on AI so much. So at the same time, for certain students, certain learners, it has encouraged curiosity. So if they want to know more in depth, they can just quickly type in ChatGPT, okay, tell me about ocean. So automatically it will just give you some details. So what we need to do is analyze whether is that true or not true, whether it makes sense or doesn't make sense. So this is very important for students to enhance their thinking skills actually. So the challenge here is finding the balance between support and also over reliance. So that is a big headache. Personally, as a teacher, yes, I do face these problems in the school. So it's still back to me how I attend to them. I cannot tell them to stop, no, or not to stop them from using AI. There's no way because the world is going in that angle, in that path. So it's impossible for us to stop telling them to stop. No, don't use that. You still have to go back to book style. It doesn't work that way anymore. So it's I think more on balancing it.
I see. So your way is to have an active balance between using ChatGPT and doing your own work. So I understand that, yeah. But I ask if you have you ever encountered any cases where you've actually seen a student using ChatGPT? Because I can imagine like now in schools schools are a lot more different in colleges now, and in schools we use things like in college we use stuff like Turnitin to check if our essays are legit and it's actually written and not AI, see if it's legit and human written. Whereas schools, you are still writing with books and stuff like that. So if I was a kid in school and I had ChatGPT, I would probably ask ChatGPT to do my homework for me, and like let's say if it's an essay, I'll just ask him to do my essay for me and copy it off the ChatGPT answer. So yeah. And how teachers know that? Like, have you ever faced a situation, Miss Sushi, or what do you think about it?
Okay, yes, personally I do face because that's how they think. Because especially when they do not understand certain topics. So for me, I'm teaching them English. So especially when it comes to writing, article writing or report writing or narrative writing, they do have problem to elaborate the points here. So that's where they turn to ChatGPT to get them to, to get ChatGPT to write for them, and they just plug it in 100%. So when they submit to me, that's where I will know, because as a teacher, you can understand the students perfect. I mean, you can understand really well. So you can see the sudden change in their style, writing style, their tone, the choice of words they pick. Suddenly, bombastic words, big jargon words. So it's quite obvious. So that's where how do I solve this problem? Like what I say, we cannot stop them from using ChatGPT or any kind of AI tools. So I will have a one-to-one talk, not to embarrass her or in the class. I will call one-to-one and I will explain to her or him, look here, you can't run away from checking or using AI. But in reality, for school purpose, you still have to sit exams, which means you still have to have the independent of answering your answers. So, which means you can use ChatGPT as an aid, but you need to work it out on yourself and you learn that way. And that's why I'm here to actually give you the support. So the child happened to understand what I'm trying to say. So what she does now, she just go in and get the type in the topic, and they will give you the points, or they will tell you this, you can use this, you can do it. So she tries to analyze it, and she picks and she tries to work on her own. So that's where there's a vast improvement, I would say. So that's how I settle or I solve the students' problem for those who overly relying on AI.
Over reliance could mean over reliance in the AI and technology could mean that they have bad disciplinary actions. Do you think this is true statement? Like, is AI really helping us, or is it actually hurting us?
Depends
Discipline
how
schools?
the user use it. If they are over reliance, which means if the question say, okay, let's say the teacher give a question, fill in the blanks with prepositions. So the boy maybe doesn't, or the student doesn't know what is the meaning of preposition. So what does the student do? He pick all the 10 questions or 5-sentence questions and put it in ChatGPT and ask it to fill in the blank. So the boy just pick, and so that is over relying. It's not critically thinking. If he would have asked, what is prepositions? How do I use prepositions? Perhaps he will understand and try to answer the 10 or 5 questions given. So that is independent learning. In life, we need independent learning. Students need to learn how to learn independently, not relying. In fact, to the teachers, because the book is there, the notes are there, exercise book, YouTube, everything is there. So how they use this resource as their strength. That's important. Did I answer your questions?
Yeah, that was a really good answer.
Good acoustics matter. Choose Marketars.
With AI especially, what is your biggest concern?
Okay.
Like, what do you foresee that
With
you're
current
worried about?
situation,
You know?
I think my biggest concern will be students may stop developing their own thinking and their creativity. You see, children are born, they're just like sponges. You see, the first thing when they're a child, they're exposed with toys, colors, shapes. So that's why we produce this kind of arts or this kind of teaching skills, is for them to evaluate deeper. So that's orange, that's blue. So sooner or later they will know, okay, tree is green and the branch is brown. So that's where it starts developing. So if nowadays children, they don't think, that will maybe disturb them to solve a simple problem, because overly relying on it. So they will stop, or perhaps they have problem to solve their own problems. You see, so especially teenage nowadays, and they become more sensitive. They feel even the simplest word also can cause harm to them. So this is because they're grasping on something, they're relying on something. So that I think that is my most concern, and they use this as a shortcut instead of as a learning tool, their own resource. They learn it, or they take it as a shortcut that they want to just earn some marks, or they want to get grades so that they can pursue to a higher grades. So they will lose essential skills like critical reasoning, problem solving, and perhaps independent writing. You see, those days we used to write journal. Okay, back then, I think that how many centuries, they used to write long journal writing to evaluate or to reflect their own self. But nowadays, when we ask simple questions, what did you do yesterday? It will take them time to even think, what did I do yesterday? Because the brain is never worked. It's just like, I'm hungry, I just go to the kitchen and eat. But they didn't think, is there food in the kitchen or not? Did my mom cook or not? They didn't. All they know, okay, I'm hungry, I need to go to the kitchen and grab something. So this is the current situation. So I think I'm more concerned on critical thinking.
So wait, just to touch on that a bit more on that. Sorry. Right now we are seeing a steady rise of kids or like young youths that don't know how to spell. With like the invention of autocorrect. So do you see it's going the same way with AI, or you mean to say it's more like learning disabilities now? Like it's regarding spelling, because of autocorrect. The invention of autocorrect means it's going to be the same way. But
we will still go up,
or do we go up from
because everything is computerized already.
Okay.
We don't. I think another 20-30 years there will be no books, pencils, nothing. I think, in my opinion, because literally everything is done in one screen. Even registration, even your car park, all you need is just your phone and you just key in. It's there. So you don't really bother so much about spelling. All you need to know your name, your address, and all these things. That's the only thing. That also will autocorrect for you. So that is actually harming. That is worrying, because when I think about kindergarten kids, because they're introduced with ABCs. So where is it going to go after 10, 20 years? I'm also clueless. Whether will they learn phonics? Whether will they will learn alphabet? I have no idea.
All right. So last question. How can AI be used responsibly in schools?
Okay, like what I said, the balancing. So AI should be used as a learning assistant. It's not the assistant, as a learning assistant. So it's not a replacement kind of thingy, replacement of book or replacement of teachers. You see, in fact, there are also research or there are also studies saying that AI soon will be replaced. Teachers will be soon replaced with AI. So which means the AI will be teaching the students. So you don't really need to go to school. No more universities. There are some places already started with it. So quite worrying also for people like us, whether can we get job, that sort of stuff. So I think student can use it wisely, basically for grammar checking, maybe attendance taking, or understanding difficult topics. But they still need to do the groundwork, which is writing, analyzing, critical thinking. So they should do a lot of reflect on it. So at least that they won't run away from the reality. And teachers like us, what we are supposed to imbibe to them, I think we're supposed to teach them some digital ethics. So how to use AI ethically. So at the same time, you're proud of yourself that it's 100% your work, even though you have AI next to you, but you don't use it as the product. That means it's your own product at the end of the day. So again, for schools, you still need to come to the exam hall and write your own answers. And AI is not going to help you anywhere until the system changes. Yeah. So that's how I think AI can be used responsibly.
So, in conclusion, AI can be useful, but students have to know how to use it responsibly. So basically, responsibility is the key. I also want to ask do you know any other teacher in your staff in school who also use AI? I want to ask, how do teachers use AI themselves? Do they use it to help set up work? Do they use it to ask questions and stuff like that? Like, oh, what should I teach my kids today in class? Like, just random, simple questions,
Personally, if you ask me, I use AI a lot, ChatGPT, but I don't rely on it. Like, I will ask AI, okay, I teach communication skills for the lower primary students. So sometimes I do have ideas, but I just want it, the rules and regulations. How do I actually start up? So perhaps charade. So I know how to conduct a charade, but it would be better that if there is a latest way of conducting charade. So that's why I'll ask ChatGPT and it'll give me. Then I will pick whatever is applicable to my students, because sometimes ChatGPT will give advanced level. So that's why I prompt back. Okay, I don't want advanced. I want somewhat intermediate level. So they will reduce some of the rules and regs. So I will see whether it's suitable for my students or not. If not, I will just adjust it wherever I want. Videos as well. So I can ask, okay, can you give me a video about importance of drinking water, for example. So it will tell me exactly how to do it. And I will see the video whether suitable or not suitable, whether the English used, is it too high level, low level? So as a teacher, we are supposed to analyze as well, not 100% take it and then just, play it and then I just sit down and do my work. It doesn't work that way. Because as a teacher, you still have to conduct the lesson.
All right. So I see. So is that all you have to say?
Yeah.
Right.
That's
So
it.
thank you, Miss Sushi, for her insights today.
Thank you so
Thank you for
much.
coming on today of the T&D podcast. Thank you so much for
Thank
taking
you.
the time out of your day. Larish, you have anything
Thank
else to
you.
say?
No, just thank you very much. Yeah.
Most welcome.
Right.
Thank you for giving me. Yes, well, all the best, boys.
All right.
Thank
So
you.
that's
Bye-bye.
it on today for the T&D podcast. I'm your host, Tishan.
And I'm Davish. See you.
Alright. Right. See you.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye bye.